during that period of time, that's when I really realized, like, dude, you gotta go to school, you know. So then, like, right after that, I went and got my GED in like 2 weeks, and I was just 16 years old and didn't really know.
So I would start with that, and so the next thing I would start with would be.
And then from that point, when I got my GED, I started planning on going to Panama, and then I went to Panama in January of 2015, and then from like January, February, March, April-ish, I was already in contact with the people in Africa to like get over there for the 6 months.
So I would just start by saying, so over the next year and a half, I, did a couple other short-term mission trips. I went to Panama, and then I also went and got my GED. But it was in whatever month you left to go to South Africa this past time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was in whatever, it was in such and such month, the 2015, or 15, 16,
16.
That I left and went for 6 months to South Africa, and then give a very brief explanation of how that impacted you.
All right. Actually, I think I got something.
Okay.
Because in that period of time, I ended up working at the Salvation Army, and I didn't mention it, but I worked at the the YMCA for a while before that. Pretty much, I'm talking about like the sort of like when I realized that my passion was for youth, kind of things. Right. So I think I stopped at saying, like I saw God move in ways that I've never seen before. All right. I said just to start off again. That's a hard word to stay away from. So is too. It's like it's easy to start off just like so I was doing this. All right. And in the following year and a half, since then, I've went on.
I want you, first of all, no, you don't have much time. Second of all, I want you to say in the following. Don't start with
Okay. Did I really?
Like, in the following.
That's
like,
so
you
hard.
You didn't even say it to where I could cut out the word
Really?
Yeah. So.
In the following year and a half.
I sniffed.
In the following year and a half, I have worked at the Salvation Army and before done work with the kids at the YMCA and started helping out here at the church. And in January of 2016, I went to South Africa to do a 6-month internship over there. And just through all these things, the Lord has really just began to reveal to me my calling for youth and youth ministry and how my testimony and these things could help more youth come to the Lord. What more should I talk about? Because I could talk a little bit more about like that being my passion and sort of how I realized it, because it was like I always felt like that's where I wanted to go, like in that direction. Obviously, like that's what I was doing growing up before I even went on my like got in trouble, and you know what I'm saying. Like I was doing that even beforehand, and then when I did give my life to the Lord, it was just sort of like it was amplified. But then I began to realize like at the Salvation Army, like I'm sitting there like a teacher, like do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? And it was the same way at the YMCA. And, I could be friends with them or, that kind of thing. But my job title and the way that they acted about it wouldn't allow me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I wanted a deeper connection with the kids and more personal, in their lives and in those hard times, not the things that like they come to church and they act okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like those things. And I realized that like I didn't like being on the surface. Like And then being in South Africa, and I had the opportunity to. That's what I was doing. I was a life coach in the high schools, and I was able to talk to many of the students and just really give them advice and show them the Bible and what it says and that kind of stuff.
Do you have a quick story of kind of like when you would say you kind of hit rock bottom?
Hit rock bottom. Uh, I would say rock bottom was I mean, it'll just have to go back into the other part of the video, but it's right there, right after I got taken, like within the year and a half after I got taken into my grandfather passing away. Um, and after he passed away, I hit that bitter moment. It was even before I left for West Virginia in my life where, like I said, I ended up with 7 charges on my record, and I just had a lot of trouble at school and started experimenting with drugs and things that I shouldn't have been. And it's sort of like, I guess that's when it hit me harder. Um, and I began to rely on those things, and but I don't know how to explain it. But I don't know. So I guess I could start.
No, that's fine. Actually, in you talking, in you saying that, I got a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna go out here because I think they're done.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Wow, the 10 minutes it felt like we were in here lasted.